A good day everyone, this is Blue95 and welcome to not a Wi-Fi battle, but actually two showdown battles, and one battle I'll be on the bottom, and that's this one, and the other one I'll be on the top. But you can watch your nice little team preview right now. I have a new OU team consisting of some really cool guys, namely a Tracheon and a Landorus, who are both badass and just destroy everything that comes into their path. And then you have, Titar just to set up sand, and then Jellicent and Celebi for rain teams, and then Heatran to round off a nice Fire Grass Water core. But yeah, the first three are mainly for taking on threats. That's Titar, Jellicent and Celebi, and then you have the main three, Heatran, Tracheon and Landorus to sweep. The final two. And then on my opponent's side you see some Ferrothorn, I see Irachi, I see Heatran, I see Weavile, which is not that common at all anymore. And let's jump right into our battle, shall we? Go. So I lead with my Titar, and he leads with Ferrothorn. I just want to set up rocks in the first turn. I'm not going to show him I have the Fire Blast. And he toxics me. I decide to not show the Fire Blast yet and just go into Heatran, but he leech seeds me, and then I figure, well, if a Ferrothorn has leech seed, he most likely has Protect, because that's annoying. So I switch Tracheon in because I want to threaten him out with a close combat, as he does Protect. The switch to Jellicent was really obvious, but I didn't want to overpredict this early. I was predicting that Protect anyway. If he Gyro Balled me, I would have died, but Celebi is my main answer to a Jellicent. It can take anything bar a Shadow Ball, which isn't that common since most carry Scald, Taunt, Will-O-Wisp and Recover, as does mine. I do have Baton Pass on my Celebi. I predicted a switch, but he didn't, so that shows me he has either Shadow Ball or Ice Beam, and Titar can take both of them and Pursuit Trap him. Since this Titar is some utility Titar with Pursuit, Fire Blast and Rocks. So the Jellicent is dead since it's at 9% and he has no spinner, so the rocks will take him down. And this is the perfect opportunity to show Ferrothorn that I do pack the Fire Blast. I do not take him out. I think I need to EV my Tyranitar, that I have a better shot at one-shotting a Ferrothorn in the sand, since I have dumped all of the EVs in my special offense in that set. But of course, Leech Seed Protect, obvious. I just switch into my Heatran after he Leech Seeds me. And here I can just Fire Blast, or Earth Power in this case, as I predicted to switch to his Heatran, since he might want to get that Flash Fire boost. So I went for Earth Power, but it looks like I actually outspeed the Gliscor, so I can just take it out with a HP Ice. This is sub 3 attacks Heatran, so it's really good. Of course, Weavile always carry a fighting move in the form of Low Kick, so I immediately go to my Jellicent, because the Heatran does not want to die. I knew he had Night Slash, I knew I could live a hit, and I knew it could burn. But then I noticed, wait, Jellicent dies to rocks, and Gliscor is dead. So I just switch into my Choice Scarf Terrakion, get bit by Night Slash for the justified boost, and this is where the, sweeping begins, as you might say, because, he has nothing to take a close combat, so I just lock him myself into +1 close combat with a Choice Scarf, so that's like I've had a Dragon Dance, but without the freedom to choose moves, and Jellicent just died of rocks. I'm gonna kill Ferrothorn, because it has, I could one-shot it with +1 attack, I'm pretty sure. And then he has a Heatran. I'm not sure why he doesn't bring in his Celebi yet. I mean his Jirachi, since that is the one who could take a hit, and then it would be dumb to fodder all his stuff. But in the end, I'm not sure if it just was a clean one-shot or max damage. But I do take out the Jirachi and I sweep him for a sweet 6-0. Yeah. So that is battle number 1. And because this was such a dominant victory after a few good predictions and then a sweet Terrakion sweep, I of course have another battle right here. And I am on the top this time, because that's the replay viewer. If you replay a showdown video, a showdown battle, and you can sometimes magically appear on the other side of the screen. But yes, I'm on the top, and my opponent is on the bottom. My opponent is using a rain team with a Toxic Rogue and a Keldeo. It looks like more of a balanced rain team, because I see Ferrothorn and Blissey. And, well, Ferrothorn and Blissey isn't exactly what you see in offensive rain, right? And I've got to watch out for the Keldeo, since it could be anything, but I do have the right Pokemon to counter it. So let's just start right now. Click the button, yay. So she leads with Politoed to set up her rain, but I lead with T-Tar to set up the sand, and since I'm slower, I have basically gotten a free chance to set up rocks. Turn 1 rocks, best move in the game, blah blah blah. Scizor, obvious U-turn is obvious, but I still go to Jellicent because I resisted. Could have gone to Heatran, but then I was just begging him to go into Politoed, and my Jellicent has a better, well, matchup, if you could say that, against Politoed. So the Hydro Pump does 51%, and that tells me Politoed is most likely choice specs. I missed the Will-O-Wisp, which is unfortunate, since getting a status on the rain setter really improves your chances of winning the Weather War. Then I do decide to switch to Celebi, since I cannot take 2 Hydro Pumps in a row. But there's Blissey, so I see this as the opportunity to go into T-Tar. The Blissey wishes, I immediately think he wants to try to pass that to his Politoed and get the rain back up, so I double switch into my Celebi, and he does go to Politoed. So now I am able to force him out with the super effective Giga Drain. I did not predict, I wasn't going to predict any switches, as I wanted to kill the Politoed, but I could have gone for Baton Pass and just have an even more matchup against this Toxic Rogue. But here I go to my Landorus, knowing I can take anything Toxic Rogue bar the Ice Punch, but he double switches into Blissey. And since I'm a special Landorus, I have to go back to my Jellicent, since I thought it would be the right time to recover some damage. But yeah, Blissey always carried a status, so I made a mistake here by not taunting first and then going for recover, and the result is that I'm now severely poisoned. But of course, I can go back to T-Tar at any day of the week. He's going to wish, so he wants to switch right now, and I have the pursuit to smack that Blissey down to a quarter of its HP. And Politoed, well, it will just heal the Stealth Rock damage, so whatever. But now I have to switch out, because, Hydro Pump and Ouch in the rain and Choice Specs Politoed. And actually for the second time in a row I disable his Hydro Pump with Cursed Body, which is really funny. But he goes into Toxic Rogue, knowing that I can't hurt him And I switched to T-Tar because of Cursed Body. I know he had to switch out. Toxic Rogue versus Jellicent is actually depends on speed. If Toxic Rogue carries sub, then Toxic Rogue wins. If he doesn't carry sub, then Jellicent wins. Because Jellicent has the Will-O-Wisp, and mine does not carry a Ghost type move, and I only have Scald, and Dry Skin will heal that, will absorb the Scald and heal it. So Toxic Rogue is bulking up. Good thing Taunt does go through sub, so I prevent him from getting any more bulk ups up, which was really important, as you will see right now. He now goes for Sucker Punch, thinking I have an offensive move, but my only one is Scald, so I don't want to go for that. And I safely bring in my Landorus, and I can Earth Power and get rid of the sub, and then I see how much that Sucker Punch does, and that does, well, 32%. And I have no defense investment, so I can just stay here and Earth Power all day. Politoed does not enjoy taking an Earth Power, and it just gets demolished. And since I know its specs, I can just spam Earth Power and destroy his team. Blissey dies because of the pursuit I used earlier. And then in comes Keldeo. I would think that does outspeed me, so I have to go to my Jellicent and sacrifice it. I was thinking if I could get a 6-0, but winning the battles was more important than getting a 6-0, so I just sacrificed my Jellicent to get a switch into my T-Tar, set up Sand, and then immediately switch out to my, what was it again? I think Celebi, yes, to take a Secret Sword. But Fortress comes in. Good thing I carry the HP Fire on my Celebi. This is a 2 attacks Baton Pass set. Even though I have Sword Stance on it, I can also put Calm Mind on it. Oh, and pass a Calm Mind to Landorus. But I do take out the Fortress with a Giga Drain after he gets up rocks. I went for Giga Drain in case he wanted to switch, since that hits Polytone and Keldeo super effectively. In comes Croak. I just go straight to my Landorus, knowing he does not carry Ice Punch. It's the sub-bulk up Croak, so my Landorus can beat him all day, since now he has no boosts and Sucker Punch won't do that much. Of course, Scizor can take me out with a Bullet Punch after taking huge Earth Power damage, but of course Heatran is a pretty good counter to Scizor once it locks himself into any move but Super Power. So he goes for Bullet Punch, I go for Earth Power for the coverage on the other guys of his team, if he wanted to switch out, but he doesn't. And right now all his team is really weakened. I actually outspeed the Politoed, so Heatran actually outspeeds some guys in these battles. And Toxicroak, at this point I want to fodder Heatran, but he also outspeeds Toxicroak. So this must be some really bulky Croaks, because I didn't know that a modest Heatran could outspeed a Croak. But I could also be carrying Timid, that would be me. So, and after he takes out my Heatran with his Keldeo, I just go to Celebi and he decides, well, I will not waste 2 seconds of my life by getting hit by 2 Giga Drains, and I will just forfeit the battle. So that will be the game. That was a 4-0 victory, which was it was less close than it was not as close as it looked, since I had his threats under control, I had his wall severely weakened, and I actually really like the team. Even though I have to get up the ladder, I am currently liking this team, and if you have any suggestions for my team to improve it, I will happily accept them and do with them what I want. Which means I can also ignore them. But anyway, I'm rambling way too much, so thank you all for watching my battles. I hope you all enjoyed. Please comment, rate, subscribe if you liked it, and I will see you next time.